Hi guys, hope I found you all well. Now, today we're going to talk about 4 questions you should ask yourself when you're having irrational thinking. So, I'm Brad. I'm not a licensed therapist or psychologist, psychiatrist, whatever. I'm just a normal guy who has learned this himself, who has dealt with anxiety, struggles like that, overthinking, things like that. So, yeah, just in case you've never seen me before, hello, good to meet you. So, question number 1 is, well, let's think of a scenario first. So we don't want to just say, ask the questions and then they'll be like, well, is it or isn't it? You know what I mean? There has to be something that you're thinking about. So let's make up an example. So let's say you're going to the dentist and you're having irrational thoughts, thinking you're going to get all your teeth pulled out. Ask yourself this question: is it a true fact? Is it really a true fact that is happening? No, it's not a true fact. The second question is, does it serve your best interest? No, it really doesn't. It's just going to cause you more stress and more worry. Question number 3, does it get you what you want? That's pretty brilliant. It's pretty blatantly obvious that the answer is no. And the 4th question is, does it help your health or prolong your life? And the answer to that is no. So you can write that off as an irrational thought. I learnt this from the American psychologist Dr. Phil, who I watch a lot of his content because I find him quite entertaining. Not that his shows for entertainment purposes, but it inspires me, helps me learn a lot, things like that. But yeah, that is it's what he calls a little litmus test. So I've been doing that for quite a while. I do think it is. I do think it is helpful, but sometimes I don't know. Your mind can just go into irrational places, especially when you're tired. When your mind is tired, you just want to go to sleep, don't you? But fighting it, that tired mind is rebelling against you a little bit. On the manifestation front as well, it makes you think about, or your mind is addicted to the familiarity. So for me, it might be, I am used to getting rejected, so I just think I'm going to get rejected all the time. But it's about trying to rewire your brain into thinking, this news story is really, really good. What are you on about? Consciously you're thinking, what are you on about? This news story is everything. You're giving everything to get that, to get whatever you want. You've thought about it, you've found a clear bridge to it, things like that. And then all of a sudden, the brain does love familiarity. And I do understand why we love familiarity. We're thinking oh yeah, we're like our own room, our own space, we've got everything that we need here and things like that. But the news story, the news story is, how do you know it's not even better? Now, I know not humans don't like change. They just don't. I think it's a normal human thing, that they don't always adapt to big changes anyway. And what I would say is that, I think sometimes those big changes seem scary. They seem a little bit unnecessary. sometimes you're thinking like, if it's not broken, don't fix it, which is true. I do really like that saying, because I do think people try to fix or change things that don't necessarily need changing. In their, they may have an idea in their mind, but it might just be like, hold on, is this a good idea? Like when they changed the Champions League format, I thought, is this something that isn't broken that someone's trying to fix? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think also you've got to observe your thoughts as well. Not absorb, sorry. Observe. Like, just like look, just watch them. You don't necessarily have to connect to them. You don't necessarily have to think, oh well, so and so might be right. That is completely normal, because it's like rhetorical questions, isn't it? It's like when you're listening to somebody talking and they make a point and you're thinking, yeah, this guy's making sense. I completely understand that. I completely understand, why Todd over the road thinks I'm an absolute tool. There is no Todd on the across the road, but it just makes you think, though, doesn't it? It's like you've got like little people thinking a thought that might pop into your mind, or somebody else's thought. You might think, that does make sense. That does make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make any sense at all. Sometimes it's like, yeah, well, that's wrong. Do you know what I mean? But anxiety tries to link to other thoughts and tries to find, factual things about it. And if someone hasn't replied to you, oh, they mustn't like me, oh no, I must have said something really, really creepy, I don't know. Those things do happen. They've happened with me, believe me. Thinking like, oh my God, why am I having this thought, I think what I've tried to learn is sort of welcome it in, but I can be a hypocrite because I can't take my own advice sometimes. I can give the advice, but then when it comes to actually trying to do it myself, it doesn't quite flow correctly. So, yeah, and ask yourself those questions when you're having irrational thinking. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment below your thoughts. This is Brad the Lad, or your guy Brad, as this is going to be on my other channel. See you all soon. Bye-bye.